Chula Vista resident Carolina Juarez immigrated from Mexico 18 years ago. To this day, every time she fills out the census, it's confusing. It asks her to say if she's Hispanic or Latino and then select her race.
I don't identify as African American or Asian or white. So I feel like I'm left out without a box to mark. So I couldn't find an option that fit it right in. So I just filled in some other race.
The 2020 census shows that many people are like Juarez. Nearly half of all Latinos in San Diego County identify as some other race, a more than 20% increase in the last decade. The growing number of people who mark some other race shows the limits of the census, says Edward Telles, a sociology professor at UC Irvine.
Why should there be a some other race category? Why isn't there a Latino category?
Since 1980, the census has always had a two-format question. It asks if you are Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish, and then your race. That's because it designates Hispanic or Latino as an ethnicity instead of a race. But Telles says the differences aren't so clear.
The traditional way was that race were these people that differed by physical features, and ethnicity were people with cultural differences. Well, we know that there's really a lot of overlap between those.
What we do know from the recent census is that Latinos in San Diego increasingly see themselves as multiracial. The number who mark two or more races rose by more than 5 times since 2010. Mario Torres is a mariachi musician who lives in Chula Vista. 5 years ago, he learned more about his multiracial roots through genetic tests and the history of mariachi.
Learning that I have Zapoteco, Purépecha from Michoacán, Oaxaca, and these indigenous tribes, and learning more about my own personal history.
He marked down several races on the census and wrote in that he's Native Mexican American Mestizo. His mariachi group, Mariachi Torres, which includes his wife and 2 kids, sing and play songs in Zapotec and Purépecha, a nod to their roots.
I want to acknowledge also the indigenous part. I want to acknowledge the other parts too.
Why is that important?
Because it's me. If I don't know my history, if I don't know my roots, then I don't have an identity.
People like the Torreses are recognizing their complex racial and cultural identities, both on the census and for the Torres family through their music. Cristina Kim, KPBS News.